pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Orr,
Here.
Councilman Baker,
Here.
Councilman Martinez,
Here.
Councilman Upton,
Here.
Councilor Henniger, here. Councilman Villagrana.
Present.
Okay, next we're going to do the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting on September 21st, 2015.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of September 21st, 2015.
Second. We have a first and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Upton,
Yes.
Councilman Baker,
Aye.
Councilman Villagrana,
Aye.
Councilor Henniger, Councilman Martinez,
Aye.
Mayor Orr.
Aye. Okay, next we're going to go into visitors. Is there anyone that would like to come up and talk about anything? Please state your name and address.
Ron Hinkle, 910 West 3rd Street in Florence.
John Miller, 111 Church Avenue, Florence.
I think we're just a couple of concerned citizens about streets and sidewalks. I know that John and I have been talking to a lot of people over the last few weeks, and there seems to be a lot of concern and a lot of confusion about ballot 2D, which is the half-cent sales tax initiative. And I think that I know that the subject was brought up at the manager's chat last week, and was also discussed at length after the last Rotary meeting. And it may have been discussed in the committee meeting this afternoon. I'm not for sure, but I think that I, for one, I'm pretty clear about what it is. But I'm wondering if the citizens of Florence really understand that if 2D is not passed, then the 1/2 cent sales tax initiative goes away, and any time that a tax initiative is defeated, it's almost impossible to ever get that back at whatever percent or whatever mill rate or whatever. So I think that citizens may be questioning where council stands on 2D. Obviously, you voted to put it on the ballot, but that doesn't necessarily mean you are in favor or not in favor of it. And I think it would help the citizens if they knew that the council was in favor of passing 2D or not. Obviously, I would hope that the decision would be to endorse it or to support it. If, like I said, if it fails, if it should fail, then that half-cent tax initiative, goes away, which has been historically for the last 10 years devoted to parks and rec, and specifically known as a swimming pool, fund. And if it were to pass, then, as I understand it, that would be reallocated to streets and sidewalks.
Well, me as myself, I go out and I talk to a lot of people and try to educate them on every bit of it. I can't speak for the rest of the council, but I go out and talk to people and tell them where this is going to go for and what we're going to try to do and everything else.
There seems to be a lot of confusion about the swimming pool fund and what it has been used for in the past.
Well, likewise here, and I try to clarify it with people. I'm speaking as a citizen, not necessarily this spot right here, and trying to explain, and some people, quite frankly, are confused. And but I've been trying every opportunity. I try to bring the subject up and explain, and people are confused. So, but I am working at it. So, there you go.
I don't know of any other way we can go about it. We can't advertise or anything like that.
You can't advertise it, but can you make a motion to support it or not?
Yeah, Paul?
Mr. Hinkle, Mr. Miller, I've talked to the senior centers, just as we get brought up. And I would tell you that the people that go to the senior center are well aware of what that means.
to almost each one of them individually. I've talked to people on my street, and I also have talked to my sons that both live in Florence. So, there are probably some people that are misinformed or don't understand it. But on the other hand, there's a lot of people that do understand it.
And, yeah, that's very possible. I think I was questioning, could the council take a position to support or not support?
Dick?
I was wondering, can the city put out an informative article in the newspapers without
Well, we can certainly do informational. We did the ballot statement. We can do all the informational stuff when they have the candidate forms and that kind of stuff. We could have somebody there to do informational stuff. We cannot advocate for it necessarily. Any of us can as private citizens, but in our official capacity, we cannot. I want staff to be very careful about not crossing that line. Each of you have to make that decision for yourself. Mayor, what was the vote on putting that on a city ballot? Was it 5-0, 6-0, 7-0? Would that indicate that the city council did take a position on that?
I don't think it did, because I think all it indicated was council was putting it to the voters for the voters to decide.
Well, we had a vote on it.
Right, to put it on the ballot.
Yeah, so how many people voted on it?
I think 6.
I think it was
unanimous. I think all 6 of us
That
did.
probably would answer the question. How did we favor it?
Well, I think
It was that we all voted for it.
I think
I believe, the question for Mr. Frederickson, I believe, Mr. Frederickson, correct me if I'm wrong, if the council wanted to, could they pass a resolution supporting it?
Yes.
And then that could be published. Could be, yeah.
I think by saying you voted to put it on the ballot doesn't necessarily mean you are for or against it. It could mean you're against it and you might try to.
The line drawn is using public resources to promote individual agendas. Certainly you can pass or not pass a resolution as a body, either supporting or not supporting the referendum.
Paul?
Are you ready for a resolution?
Well,
Well, you can make a motion here.
Well, I mean, that was a resolution.
That works.
If you are mayor, I'd be glad to make a resolution.
One question, would you want to make that motion before your 7th member is appointed, or would you rather?
No, I think I'd rather make it when the 7th member is on board,
Okay.
if that's okay with you guys.
Well,
It's gonna
we're
be
just.
in-
I think we're just here to raise the question. That's when you make that, if and when you make that motion, whether it's under visitor section or under new business or old business, that's purely up to council. But I think we've accomplished our objective in saying, is there anything that council can do to show the citizens that they support the initiative?
And could I add one thing, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I do think it's, for those who don't realize, these two gentlemen are actually running against each other for city council, so for the two of them to come up here and do this together.
But John hasn't had a word to say yet. So.
Well, I do agree with everything that Ron did say, and I do support that initiative that we move it to streets and sidewalks.
So that's all we have.
Well, thank you very much for bringing it. That's a good point, really. It's a really good point. Any other visitors?
Gail Nelson, 118 Northeast Street, 4th Street, sorry. West Street, wherever I live, I don't know. Yeah, thank you, I need it. My little thing's not working. My simple question, when are we going to get the,
Ballots.
the little ballot thing that tells us about this? I think that would alleviate a lot of people's questions if they had it. Are you mailing it out so we get it prior to?
It gets mailed out. I actually got mine quite a while ago. You got
I
yours?
got mine today.
Yeah.
Okay, because we have,
So they're coming out.
all right, because I've gotten one from the state, but I haven't gotten one from the city telling us about this half-cent
We don't
tax.
mail our own.
Yeah,
It gets
it's pretty
mailed
much
by
the county.
It goes to the county.
So there is one coming out, so that might answer that question. If people have questions about it, I think that's part of the problem. Nobody knows what it really says.
Okay.
118 West 4th Street.
I don't know if this is where I'm supposed
Yeah,
to bring this up or not.
that'll work.
But this is more like a new business. My name is Barbara Montoya, and I live at 203 Indian Hills Road. My concern is there is no ordinance for cat control, and I've had my patio furniture ruined, the cats, my neighbor has numerous cats, and the police department was very sympathetic with me and gave me live traps, which created more issues in the neighborhood. I have a video of a woman letting cats go on my property now that we had just taken to the Humane Society. We trapped and took. The cat showed up in that same hour after we took it to the Humane Society. So I'm requesting an ordinance for cat control that we can enforce something, anything. There's nothing. They said they have nothing that they can control, so.
Well, we need to look into that because, and Mike's going to research about if we have anything in the ordinance about
There is
it.
nothing. There is nothing. I've researched
Okay.
it.
Well, we're going through and changing a few ordinance now and that we're going to do, and maybe we can look.
That
maybe
would be
we'll look into
excellent.
that one too and see if we can't do something about it.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you. Any other visitors? Okay, let's go to unfinished business. Next, we got the appointment to fill vacancy in Ward 1. And Pat, Patricia, would you like to go and you'll have to swear her in?
Yeah,
You
we
got your
you
stuff?
already voted to appoint her.
Yeah, we already did.
Okay, and we don't have the oath card ready.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Pat? All right.
You'll have to come up to the podium. Yeah, we always got to do the oath check.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Pat Smith,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will uphold the laws of the United States
that I will uphold the laws of the United States
and the state of Colorado
and the state of Colorado
and the ordinances of the city of Florence,
and the ordinances of the city of Florence,
and faithfully perform
and faithfully perform
the duties of councilman, Ward 1,
What?
the duties of councilman, Ward 1,
upon which I'm about to enter.
about which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You may now take a seat up here. We go into the vote now on that. I know.
And Dina will need to talk about a card that Pat needs to sign.
We didn't know.
There should be
Yeah.
copies in there.
Yeah. So,
Okay. You know about all the council back and half percent. Can we do that now?
Oh, yeah, Paul's motion.
Can we get a agenda for Pat?
I have it, it's down there.
Okay, now that we got 7, let's go back to the half percent. And I think Paul, you was gonna do that?
You did.
I make a motion that we have a resolution to show that the city council supports the ballot question about the paving of the streets and sidewalk.
The half percent.
second. Is that a direction to me to prepare the resolution for
Or you
next
just
time?
want a motion?
Or do you- Yeah. Or do you just want to move to support?
All right, let's just say move to support.
Okay, to support, yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir. That saves a lot of words.
We had a second?
Second.
Okay,
Can I get a question here?
sure.
Will it be for the streets and, like we said, it's going to be for?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
very much so.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to call for a vote on that. And so we know where we stand, how many people in that. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Okay.
Okay.
We're trying it.
We're trying a consensus.
I guess the record would reflect unanimous consent.
So to let the citizens, do you mind if I explain?
Yeah, we got it from New York.
No, we just decided that on certain motions, the council will make a motion, a second, have discussion, and then call for the vote. If it's a unanimous vote, then clearly it's 7-0. If it's not a unanimous vote, then they'll poll the council. No change in terms of how much discussion is allowed or how it goes, but just a little bit more efficient than what we've done in the past. And if they don't like it, they'll get rid of it.
Okay. Next, there's going to a public hearing, the Florence Cup Special Events Liquor License.
We're requesting that be tabled indefinitely, just not enough time to get that going, so it'll come back in the spring.
Is that the one the city guys were doing
Yeah.
that? Okay. Yeah, it would've been too cold for slip and slides anyhow, or slipping. Or anything. Okay,
We'll need a motion to table that.
I will make a motion to table the Florence Cup Special Events Liquor License.
Second.
okay, we have first and second. Roll call, please.
We'll go back.
Councilman Upton,
Aye.
Councilman Baker,
Aye.
Councilman Villagrana,
Aye.
Councilor Henniger,
Aye.
Councilor Smith,
Aye.
Councilor Martinez,
Aye.
Mayor Orr.
Aye. We'll try back and forth and see which one works best. Okay, next, we got the USDA vehicle grant purchase and the body cameras. And Mike, you want to come up and talk about that?
At today's committee meeting, we received four bids. One's a Chevy, one's a Ford, 2 Dodge bids, and one of the Dodge was a local dealership. The staff had recommended to the council members that we accept the second lowest bid because they are a local business in Fremont County, and they fall within all the parameters we're allowed to accept the bid under.
Okay.
So the bid, we'd be asking the council to approve City Auto Plaza Canyon City as the local second lowest bid dealer for a 2016 Dodge Ram through the USDA grant program.
And then the rest of the...
And the rest
You want
is-
to explain about the
Sure.
USDA grant, how we got this money and...
USDA grant was applied for almost a year ago. It helps small police departments. We've used them in the past. Last year, or a little over a year ago, we were awarded, I believe, $20,000. We bought tasers, some cameras for the cars, other police equipment we needed. USDA, originally, it was going to be a grant of up to $20,000, then they upped it to $26,900, and now they've gone up to $36,000. They had more money than they had left originally planned on, so they asked us to submit about $36,000 in estimates of equipment. So everything is related to, except for body cameras, is related to the vehicle to be purchased. We're requesting through USDA body cameras because we are going to be mandated to have them. The body camera bid, and this is after doing research on, we thought the best one that's going to fit our department, and the usability was $5,059. Lights and sirens and all the equipment for the squad is about $1,224.71, and then the back cover and case, that's a locking case in the back of the truck, came to $1,844. So we submitted a total of about $37,000. I've spoken to Jeremy, our representative from USDA. He said submit all the bids. He's going to put them all in because he doesn't have a final total yet, but the minimum is $36,000. If we're required to make a match, we'd have to pick up, the rest of that $1,200, I believe.
And you have that budget.
And we have that in our budget. I have it in the vehicle budget from the surcharge, from citations, and I also have it in another fund.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do this in two parts.
Charlotte, do you have a question first?
No, I was going to make a motion, but go ahead, Mr.
Okay, and I will make a motion to approve the purchase of a Dodge, is it Dodge?
Yes.
Truck from City Auto Plaza of Canyon City in the amount of $28,992.
Did you want to do them separate or just as a lump?
I would just rather do just an acceptance of all the USDA grant equipment along with the truck.
Let me rephrase.
I think Dick is right that we should make the motion
Okay.
to accept the vehicle first, shouldn't we?
It's a
$1,000.
it's a particular bid to a particular provider, so I think that ought to be one motion.
Okay,
That's what I thought.
So that's what I heard.
that's what you heard.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a first and second. All those in favor, say, raise. Oh, you have discussion?
Mr. Baker made a point at our committee meetings, and I agree with him. I think that we need to visit, not in this particular case, but in the future, we need to visit the 5% issue.
The local vendor preference.
Yes,
Yeah, research it.
yes.
I understand. Okay, any other further discussion? We had a first, who was first? Second, Pat? Roll call?
Councilman Upton?
Yes.
Councilor Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Villagrana?
Yes.
Councilor Henniger?
Aye.
Councilor Martinez?
Aye.
Councilman Baker?
Aye.
Mayor Orr?
Aye. Paul?
Just for my clarification, Chief, make sure we'll get that policy with you, Brad, keep you good on that policy.
Oh, yeah, it's required, sir. Yeah, that's no doubt.
That's what I understood.
Yeah.
But just make sure.
Oh, no problem, sir. They won't go on the street without a policy and procedure. So, he's talking about the body cameras.
And that's something Brian will have to write up.
Right, Brian, once we draft it, we'll send it to the council to have him look it over, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. That was a motion for $37,079.
That's just the truck.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want one to take the whole.
Okay, that was the truck. Now we need one for the whole package, which is down here.
Well, the balance.
Or you could do the whole works. Whatever
You don't have to do any math if you just do the whole thing.
I get $8,087.71. Is that correct?
And that's the same thing
Yes,
I
sir.
have.
All right. So that would be the second, that would be the back half of this process.
Ready?
Ready as we're gonna be.
Okay, I'll make the motion to purchase the body camera kit accessories, safety warning lights, decked system with lights, backflip folding tonneau cover, in the amount of $8,087.71.
Second.
We have a first and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Upton?
Yes.
Councilman Baker?
Aye.
Councilman Villagrana?
Aye.
Councilor Henniger? Councilor Smith? Councilman Martinez?
Aye.
Mayor Orr?
Aye. Okay, you might as well just stick around. Next, we're gonna move to video cameras. Would be for the city and quite a few other places. So if you wanna brief us and the crowd about the video cameras.
Back in July, we did an RFP, which was published in the papers. SC&T Video Systems was one of the bidders. This system was bid out for the administration building here in the police department and city for new closed-circuit TV. It also includes all the building be alarmed, which we've never had before since I've been here in 2008. It also includes 2 cameras on Main Street, cameras at Pioneer Park, cameras at the skate park, cameras at the Public Works building covering our tow yard, the gas pumps, and the Public Works building itself. That will also have an alarm for the first time, which I believe we've never had an alarm on before, Sam, correct? And this would also include camera system involving our water treatment plant with remote access on all of this. So officers can pull up and look at cameras at any time throughout the city and see different activities that are going on in case we get, calls. There'll be different monitors in the police station, one in Booking that they can monitor. We're trying to work it out. I spoke to the owner of the company about putting one in dispatch so they could also monitor all our cameras from dispatch in Canyon City. The total of the bid was $33,690. It's broken down. We discovered, thanks to Mary and Mr. Patterson, that we actually budgeted $20,000 for this in this year's budget, but we forgot. So what we're going to do, Main Street, Pioneer Park, Skate Park, Public Works will be out of the capital outlay fund of $11,450. The building administration fund, which is the building fund we've had for years, we'll pull $12,000 out of that. The remainder, $10,240, will come from Public Works, which covers half of from the water treatment, which covers half of Public Works and water, because they do a combined. A lot of the water equipment is stored at Public Works, worked on at Public Works, maintained. So we're doing kind of a split there. Brandon, Public Works Director, is here. Water Director is here, and Sam is here. We've all agreed that this is a worthwhile thing and it's going to benefit the city. I think once we present it to our insurance company, it'll also help because we'll have alarms now, active alarms, 1080 DPI camera system monitoring, which is going to be, to me, instrumental from what we have, because we do have cameras down right now.
And how long will it take for this to get installed?
Derek, I'd refer to you on that. How long would it take to...
Actual on-site, I'm estimating between 6 and 8 weeks between the total for the entire project. I am in the wrap-up stages of a project right now, but in the time that it would take me to finish the project I'm on would be the acquisition of materials and such would cover that, so it would probably just be a perfect flow right in. And I am available to do City of Florence exclusively upon the start of it, so it would be just start going through. So.
And how long is this warranty for afterwards?
Well, the labor, I'll warranty for life, whoever goes first. The materials. The materials, I honor the manufacturer's warranty on all materials, and they range anywhere from 1 year to 7 years on the warranties. Once again, a lot of that stuff, I buy so much material, the warranties are, when they fail, usually they'll replace it for me. And I've never had an issue with any of that, being a problem. I use as you researched, Councilwoman, I'm using stuff that doesn't fail. It doesn't have a very good fail rate at all, very high one at all. So the reliability, that's, I got to put that in because I lose money when I fix things because I do it for free when I fix it. So it's top of the line equipment with the safety of this city in mind to do that.
Councilwoman Henninger, actually, we gave her what the equipment was, and she looked into it for us because of her background.
Right, and I was shocked that, you're getting such a great price, and it is a bulk deal.
Yeah, it came from that aggregate buy, and I do buy a lot of equipment from them, so instead of, making the big hit, I really wanted to do business in Florida. So.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn it over now to Mike and let him explain where the funds came from. I know you told what they were, now he can explain where he dug them up.
The best part of this is that we had budgeted $20,000 out of general fund and we only have to use 14. Because there's $2,250 from the public works side, which is general fund, and $11,450 from other parts of general fund. So I was really excited about that. We're using $12,000 from the municipal building fund, which we will amend the budget and transfer that over. We'll still end up on the year very much in the positive from the interest on the fund. That's the money that came from when this was set up, and funds that came as part of that Centura transaction. And then there will be actually, I'm sorry, it's only 11,450 from general fund. Sorry, because the other 2,500 is actually paid by water on both the public works side, because they have equipment there, and on the water plant side. So the beauty of it is that it's significantly under budget compared to where we had thought it would be, $8,550 under budget, which makes me happy. And the rest of it all fits within the parameter, with acceptable parameters. So we do recommend to council that we approve this bid, and we get the installation started as soon as the gentleman is able to get here and get it done. And he explained when that is.
I'll make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to use SC&T for the City of Florence safety camera monitoring systems as described in the amount of $33,690.
Second.
Okay, we have first and second. Any further discussion on this?
I have a question. When is this payable? After installation or before? Or
I don't know,
what are
whatever
the
Mary and Derek work out, her being finance, Derek can be in touch with Mary.
What do you
I think
usually
we talked
require?
about,
What I was doing is because of the aggregate buy, the original down would have been just to get materials and then all the stuff made the whole project is completed for that.
What he proposes in his initial submittal was $20,000 down and the remaining balance paid full upon completion. That's what he proposes in his note.
And the second question I have is, do you use subcontractors to install, or do you do this yourself?
No, I have my employees.
Okay.
That's it, yeah, I will not be doing,
I'll make a motion to amend the motion to...
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to amend the payment of $20,000 down payment for the firm to secure the equipment.
Second. And the balance upon completion.
And the balance upon completion.
Paul?
Did I hear right that Councilman Baker said 32,290?
33.
33,690.
33,690.
The paper says 34,000.
There was a different page of it.
No. If you look at where the $12,600 is, up, that was a typo. We reduced it to $12,000.
It was just a typo. We passed the sheet out this morning, but it got lost.
Okay, any further discussion? We already have a motion on the floor. We have a first and a second. Did you get who the first and second was? Or was that so long ago you don't remember? Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilman Baker?
Aye.
Councilman Martinez?
Aye.
Councilman Villagrana?
Aye.
Councilor Henniger?
Aye.
Councilor Smith?
Aye.
Councilman Upton?
Aye.
Mayor Orr?
Aye. Okay, looks like we'll get some cameras. Okay, new business. Accord Land Company LLC, out of City Limits Water Tap.
All right, we've got Angela Ballantoni here and a guest. I'll let her introduce him. Accord Land Company would like to purchase a water tap from us up at the airport. We had our water engineer, Richard Saxton, review it up there to make sure that we had enough capacity in that area to sell another water tap. And Richard felt strongly that we were fine doing this. So we are able to sell a water tap to Accord, and we'll turn it over next.
A 3/4 inch.
Yeah, 3/4 inch.
Okay, there you go.
So,
Okay, just
Did we get a share of water with this?
I
It's right
passed it
here.
out.
You
It was
got-
in front of you.
you see your paper in front of you?
I can get you another one.
Okay, if you please state your name and address for me, please.
my name is Angela Bellantoni. I'm with Environmental Alternatives with offices at 1107 Main Street in Canyon City, Colorado.
Okay.
And this is, I'd like to introduce Matt Hobby. He's going to be the regional manager for Accord Land Company.
Could you speak into the mic and pick it up, please?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people's hearing you.
Should we start over?
No, I think it's, you can grab it off of there. Pull it out.
Take it out.
Where's the wireless one? There you go.
Now go for it.
I do. Should we introduce Matt as well?
I'm Matt Hobby, Regional Manager for Accord Transportation. I live in Canyon City, Colorado at 719 Beach Avenue.
Okay. And what is this 3/4 tap going for, commercial building or what?
Accord Land Company is hoping to open a trucking terminal to be located at 200 Skyland Drive in the airport industrial park. It's on the very north side. And the water tap would service a business and dispatch center. It's a very small office. It would open up with 2 employees. Maximum employees anticipated to be 4. And at some time, if business grows, they would build a maintenance shop also on the premises. No floor drain, no water into the maintenance shop, but it would allow those that use the facilities to do light work on their trucks, like change windshield wiper blades, check tires, that sort of thing, because Accord Trucking subcontracts the mechanic and repairs to either Dirk's to the south, truck repair, or they have a vendor in Pueblo that they use. So the office would service up to 4 office people. The office is a business and dispatch center, so it is an 8 to 5 office. And this is a bulk wholesale trucking. They transport propane from the propane farm in Denver to retailers who provide it to the communities. So anything that happens on site, it's empty tanks. It's where, when trucks are not in service, if the trucker lives in city or in Florence, if they want to park the truck there, they can. Most often, truckers prefer to park their trucks on their premises, and they live in the rural communities. Accord has their main office in Oklahoma, Chandler, Oklahoma. They have 140 truckers that work out of their dispatch office. When they took a picture of a regular day, middle of the week, they had 7 trucks on the site. So there are very few trucks that actually use the site. But the use for the facilities, as Mayor asked, is mainly the office staff, the 2 individual up to 4.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Okay. I guess we need a motion on this, then, don't we?
I make a motion that we agree to provide a 3/4 inch water tap to Accord Land Company, which will be at 11.5 South Industrial Road, P.O. Box 498.
That's in Oklahoma. It's at 200 Skyland Drive.
As amended.
Penrose, yep.
As amended.
Okay. Do we have a second? Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? See, we're sort of switching back and forth to see which one we liked.
We gotta remember to do discussion.
Marm's getting tired.
We just did it before that.
Okay, we just gotta ask for it.
Thank you.
I asked you twice now.
We'll have fun with it.
Oh, my head. Okay, I gotta announce a sad but good Planning and Zoning Commission vacancy for some reason. Because our planning and zoning lady moved up to the big time. So we're gonna have to announce that, and we will advertise that Thursday. Bob?
Already set.
Is it? You're on top of it, man. Good deal.
Check him out.
Yeah, no motion needed, just informing people.
You might announce when you want applications in.
And
October
yeah.
15th. No later
Is
than
that what you
4:30
got?
PM on October 15th. if you're interested in being on Planning Commission, I know there's at least one person out there who's thinking about it. He's in trouble now, I can see.
That's his wife gonna be.
He's thinking about it. He didn't say he was going to do it.
It's a
He's
good
just
place to start. Okay. Next, amend Resolution 6-2004 for the Historic Preservation Fee Schedule. And that would be Wade or you? Wade?
Good evening, council. This resolution is to amend our land development fee schedule. In 2004, we created a very long, lengthy list of fees for land development proposals, subdivisions, zoning permits, things like that. We've created a new preservation commission that you created this year, and so that will have reviews that will be done by me and done by the city, and we need to set a fee for those. At the first meeting of the Preservation Commission last month, they voted to recommend a $50 fee for a local landmark, and that was basically to cover the costs of the mailing, because local landmarks will actually be public hearings, like a planning and zoning rezoning, so there will be some fees associated with the city. So that $50 is a pretty modest fee that helps the city kind of support preservation, but also not lose money by doing preservation activities. And then the other two fees, I think, are very modest, and that encourages people to do preservation work instead of discourages them to do that. Some cities have, $80, $100, $200 fees, and that doesn't make people want to, help save buildings or anything like that. So this is kind of in line with the city of our size, and it helps us basically to offset the mailing fees. Any questions? And so this resolution is to amend, to put another section in that would have the fees for the Preservation Commission, but it's not going to change any of the fees for the other boards or commissions or land development permits.
Are these fees basically the same as they used to be, just kind of consolidated?
This commission is brand new, so there's never been fees, so you guys are the
Oh,
this is the first time that they've ever been established. Yeah, so nothing to fall back on, yeah. And the Preservation Commission kind of talked about, whether, $50 makes it, it's serious and offsets that fee, but it's not so much that it should be discouraging somebody from taking the action. And these local landmarks would then be eligible for tax credits and rehabilitation credits. I talked to somebody last week about looking into this. So the small fee to apply to become a local landmark could turn around to be either get a grant or get some kind of tax benefit that's much more than $50.
But some of these fees are still the same as they used to be.
All the other fees are the same, yeah. These are just a brand new set of 3 fees that are all fairly modest.
Okay.
We accept the fees charged for the Florence Historic Preservation Commission applications.
I second it.
Well, it should be identified as a resolution 6 of
amend the
2004.
resolution.
What you're doing is amending Resolution 6, 2004, and the front of the resolution will indicate revised October 5, 2015. Also, we need the word commission spelled with 2 S's.
Dang it.
So you're just adding Section 7 to the resolution that was passed in 2004, establishing all of these other fees. Okay?
Okay, as amended.
All right. As duly stated. Okay.
The city.
And we had a second here? Back. Roll call.
Councilman Villagrana.
Aye.
Councilor Smith.
Aye.
Councilor Henniger.
Aye.
Councilman Upton.
Aye.
Councilman Martinez.
Aye.
Councilman Baker.
Aye.
Mayor Orr.
Aye. Next, we got Resolution 18-2015, creating a non-voting youth advisory. And that's you again, Wade.
All right, well, I think this one's pretty exciting. It's pretty rare to have, a lot of cities have youth advisory positions that just go unfilled indefinitely. And so when you created the Historic Preservation Commission, you put an ex officio youth member. Sam Bobby was appointed to that. She came to the first meeting, jumped in as secretary, really sharp sophomore at Florence High School. And So after that meeting concluded, she asked if there was an ex officio role on the Planning and Zoning Commission, and we looked at the ordinances, and there wasn't. And so we brought this resolution to create the similar position on the Planning and Zoning Commission. So I think it's pretty lucky to have a small city where there is youth that's actually engaged and competent enough to sit on the Planning and Zoning Commission and partake in discussions. This will not be a voting member, so this will just be another position. That person will be allowed to participate in meetings and conversations, but they won't be a voting member. And so that person, Sam put in a letter to myself that I forwarded to Brian that showing interest, and we're bringing this resolution to allow more youth involvement at an advisory level. And I did a training, got some training informations from GOCO, Gray Outdoors Colorado. They do a lot of large grants. We'll eventually be going to them either for trails or park rehabilitations. They actually have a segment in their grant scoring that's 5 points for youth involvement in a city. So these are just little things. We create a leadership opportunity for a student at Florence High School in the ACE program, and then we benefit by having higher grant scores and having better, more rounded input from different demographics.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I think as far as I know, she's the youngest, as a sophomore, she's one of the youngest in the Preservation Commission in the United States, and she might be one of the youngest in the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Larry?
Okay. I attended that meeting, and I'll say it this way, I was extremely impressed with her behavior and the way she handled things and the questions that she asked, and et cetera. The other thing is, Colorado Municipal League, CML, they've had a program ongoing to try to get youth involved in city governments. And I think this would just, this fits right in. The CML just feels that we need to get young people involved in how cities operate and so forth. So I would encourage that we pass this resolution 18/2015 because it's I think it just maybe we can get some youth involved in some other things. It is a non-voting, but I think we should move forward with this, and I think it's going to work out very, very well. And if we do pass this, I would like to tell staff to get a little message off to CML that we have appointed a young person to the commission. Okay.
There. I'll just echo what Larry has said. I think it's very important that anytime youth can be involved in the community, we should take advantage of that. So, you ready for a motion?
Ready for something.
Something. So I will make a motion that we pass Resolution 18-2015, creating the non-voting youth advisory to the City of Florence Planning Commission.
No, not the Planning Commission.
Not the Planning Commission?
It's a history.
The history.
Historic.
Historic preservation.
Historic preservation.
Yeah.
Well, and I did this wrong.
Uh-oh.
I thought it was the Planning Commission.
No.
Is that not right?
No, that's not right.
This resolution is to create a new position for the Planning Commission, that the youth has already been appointed to the Preservation Commission.
So
And on the
it's for the
resolution,
planning.
No,
it's non-voting youth advisory. It should be in the
planning
planning.
of the historic.
They've already been appointed, created
So
and
it's
appointed.
exactly what it says in the.
no, historic preservation.
No, it says.
Planning.
It says planning.
So
Well, you got us all confused.
I didn't do
I can
It's
see
a
why
planning
people are
commission.
confused because on the agenda it says historic.
It says
No, it
historic
just
fee
says
schedules
create
above
a
it.
non-voting youth advisory.
Yeah.
But that's to the Planning
But we
Commission.
were just talking about historic preservation, so.
And the word is right above it, yeah. No, that person's already been appointed for that.
And who'd we appoint?
What are
That
we
gal
doing?
he's talking about? Okay,
So what are we doing here?
then I guess we don't need to do nothing. You already appointed her.
Well, you have to pass the resolution.
We're creating a resolution that will allow you to appoint somebody. Next meeting, you can appoint her to the planning commission.
So you just said she was appointed, she's not
Yeah,
really
I don't
appointed.
understand.
You
She's
got
already on
somebody-
another